What are you convicted about when it comes to work? Do you believe you should be focused? Do you believe that you should, be excited about the job that you're doing? Everyone's different. There is no one size fits all when it comes to potential. The most important thing is you don't have regret. You don't have guilt. You aren't out of integrity on something that you really have conviction over. Hi there, it's Kelly Resendez, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. We're gonna talk about unlocking your potential. All of us have this potential that we've come here with, and the reality is that we often sabotage our own potential. We often fail to actualize it, and the people around us are waiting for us to be able to do that. Now, the greatest thing is that we're actually failing ourselves when we don't actualize our potential. And there are some steps that you can take today that are really going to help you get there. So the first thing I want to start with is, what is potential? What I really look at potential as being is living in integrity with our truth. So some people might say, like, man, you were like the greatest soccer player, but you didn't put effort in. But the truth is, you weren't really that excited about playing soccer. That's not potential to me. Now, everyone around us might be questioning it, but really what potential is aligning our truth with the impact that we make in the world. And so potential comes in many sizes. It could be your potential as a parent, it could be your potential at work, as a business owner, as a professional athlete, as whatever it is that you want. It's going to be in every area of your life. And so the most important thing that you can do is to identify what your truth is and really sit down and say, what is my authentic truth? And how do I make sure that every day I am aligning with it so that I can actualize my potential? And so where you're gonna start, I would start with journaling. Just journaling and writing down things that you have conviction over. I'm convicted about my health. Every day, I try to make the best healthy decisions that I can make. And that means that I'm going to reach my highest potential in my health. I'm going to hire a trainer. I'm going to eat healthy. I'm going to hydrate. I'm going to take the supplements that I know that are important to me so that I can feel as energized as I possibly can, which is going to help me in every other area of my life. So that's just one area. Take work. Like, what are you convicted about when it comes to work? Do you believe you should be focused? Do you believe that you should, be excited about the job that you're doing? Everyone's different. There is no one size fits all when it comes to potential. The most important thing is you don't have regret. You don't have guilt. You aren't out of integrity on something that you really have conviction over. And so again, you're gonna wanna go through every area of your life. If you wanna actualize your potential as a parent, you're gonna wanna make sure, like, I'm spending quality time with my kids and giving them unconditional love and being the change that I wanna see instead of just overlaying my opinions. I hear parents all the time yelling at their kids. I will tell you, I did that once or twice on the soccer field, and then showing up at work and surfing on the internet half of the day. They just ask their kids, did you do the best that you could? And then they show up and they don't do the best that they could. The downside is that keeps you out of alignment. It keeps you out of integrity in some of these values that you really believe in. So you're gonna have to have an honest conversation with yourself in every area, from, again, your relationships to your wealth, to the contribution that you make in the world. I look at contribution, my purpose, going hand in hand. I want to contribute. Part of my potential is being able to impact millions of people using my voice through speaking and writing and my podcast and this YouTube channel and my mastermind and the things that I do in women's health. I know that I'm going to contribute in a big way. Now, that might not be your path. Maybe your path is to be the best youth pastor that you could be, or the best parent. There is no comparison when it comes to our potential. And it doesn't always have to be around skills that you've been given. I was really good in mortgage, really good. I was a top 1% loan officer, and I retired from doing that in 2011. because I felt out of alignment. It wasn't where my purpose was. I wasn't actualizing my full potential and using all the gifts that God gave me. And so you really want to get honest again about this potential and then start taking actionable steps every day. Be honest. Am I sabotaging myself? Am I procrastinating? Am I overthinking? Am I distracting myself? Like, be honest and create a plan around overcoming those things. Now, maybe you need to hire a coach. Maybe you need to read a book. Maybe you need to create some new habits. I know for me, it's the daily disciplines that I do day in and day out that help me reach my potential. I have to do my morning ritual, put myself into the right state in order to be able to show up the way that I want to. You know, the last thing that I would say when it comes to potential is that we won't reach it if we exceed our human capacity for greatness. So what does this mean for me? It means that I've got to be really thoughtful about the amount of energy that I am creating and the amount of energy that I'm using. So I've got a great plan. Part of my disciplines are around, do I get enough sleep? Am I surrounding myself with the right people? Am I hydrating? Am I taking the right supplements? Am I taking the right hormones? There's a long list of things that I do in order to make sure that I have the energy needed and that I know how much time I can spend focused on work versus how much time I need for downtime, for connection, for physical activity and other things. So I don't believe in balance, but I believe in alignment. And I take my greatest priorities in my life and I make sure that I don't have guilt around them, that I'm actually creating the time so that I don't exceed my human capacity. Now, there are seasons that maybe I have to work a little bit more, but I'm really thoughtful about self-care when I do and being honest with myself that I only have to do this for a week or 2 weeks or whatever that might be. And so again, all of us can actualize the potential that we were given and live a life filled with meaning and purpose, but we have to be intentional around it. We have to have a plan around it because our brains are lazy. They're just lazy. And you might go years without taking that step. I look at how many years I wanted to write a book until I finally did, but it was because I was intentional and I made it into bite-sized pieces where I would write 15 minutes every single day rather than just feeling the pressure of needing to write an entire book. So I wish you the best of luck in actualizing your potential and getting to this next level in your life. All of us have a next step, but we've got to get outside of our comfort zone and adopt those disciplines that are going to get us there. See you on the next episode.